On a humid afternoon in July 2024, the county courthouse in Jackson, Mississippi, was alive with the usual bustle of legal proceedings. Officers, attorneys, and defendants moved through the corridors, their voices blending into a steady hum. Among them was Officer Daniel Hayes, a 39-year-old patrol officer with 12 years on the Jackson Police Department. Hayes had a reputation for his abrasive style and a history of complaints, though most were dismissed due to lack of evidence. That day, he was scheduled to testify in a vandalism case, waiting his turn in the gallery with a scowl on his face. The woman standing at the defendant's table didn't catch his attention at first. She was LaToya Jackson, 35, a former detective from Chicago who'd recently relocated to Jackson to take up the role of police chief, a position she was set to assume the following Monday. She was in court to address a parking ticket dispute, a minor issue stemming from a mix-up during her move. Dressed in a tailored black suit, she spoke confidently with her attorney, Marcus Reed, unaware that the encounter would escalate beyond a simple hearing. As LaToya's case was called, she approached the bench, her posture composed. Judge Eleanor Pierce, a stern figure with 20 years on the bench, reviewed the paperwork. Reed explained that the ticket was issued in error. LaToya's vehicle registration had been updated, but the system hadn't reflected it yet. "It's a clerical oversight, Your Honor," he said. Pierce nodded, adjusting her glasses. "The citation is dismissed, Ms. Jackson. Ensure the records are corrected." "Thank you, Your Honor," LaToya replied, her voice steady. She turned to leave, but as she passed Hayes's row, he muttered under his breath, "Figures they'd let her off." The words carried a sharp edge, and LaToya paused, her eyes narrowing. She recognized the uniform, the badge, the tone. She'd encountered it before in her career. But she kept moving, determined not to escalate the situation. Hayes, however, wasn't finished. As LaToya neared the aisle, he stood, blocking her path. "Think you can just walk away like that?" he said, his voice rising. Heads turned, and the room grew quiet. Judge Pierce looked up, her pen halting. "Officer, step aside," LaToya said, her tone firm but controlled. Hayes's face flushed with anger. "Don't tell me what to do," he snapped. "You people always get special treatment." The phrase "you people" hung heavily, drawing gasps from those nearby. LaToya's jaw tightened, but she maintained her composure. "Move, officer," she said, her voice low but commanding. The tension snapped. Hayes, fueled by frustration, swung his leg, kicking LaToya's calf with enough force to make her stagger. The courtroom erupted in murmurs, and Judge Pierce slammed her gavel. "Officer Hayes, explain yourself," she demanded, standing from her seat. LaToya steadied herself, her attorney rushing to her side, but she waved him off. "I'm fine," she said, her eyes locked on Hayes, who stood frozen, his chest heaving. "You just assaulted me in a courtroom," LaToya said, her voice cutting through the noise. "You might want to reconsider your next move." Hayes opened his mouth to retort, but the bailiff was already moving toward him. Judge Pierce ordered, "Detain him immediately." Two bailiffs grabbed Hayes's arms, cuffing him despite his protests. "This is ridiculous." "She provoked me," he shouted. "Provoked you?" Pierce said, her voice laced with disbelief. "You attacked a citizen in my courtroom. Sit down, or I'll add contempt to your charges." The bailiffs escorted Hayes to a chair, his face a mix of defiance and shock. LaToya stood tall, her leg throbbing but her expression unyielding. She turned to Pierce. "I'll be pressing charges, Your Honor." Pierce nodded. "Noted. This will be referred to Internal Affairs and the District Attorney. Officer Hayes, you're suspended pending investigation." As Hayes was led away, LaToya returned to Reed, who whispered, "Are you okay?" That was unprovoked. "I've handled worse," LaToya said, though her mind raced. She'd faced discrimination throughout her 15-year career, but this was a new level of hostility. The incident spread quickly, reaching the Jackson Police Department by evening. Officers whispered about it, some defending Hayes, others questioning his actions. The following Monday, LaToya walked into the police headquarters for her first day as chief. She'd kept her arrival low-key, preferring to assess the department before making changes. In the briefing room, officers gathered for roll call, unaware of the bombshell about to drop. Hayes was present, reinstated temporarily after union pressure, sitting near the back. He'd spent the weekend insisting to colleagues that LaToya had disrespected him, though his story wavered under scrutiny. When LaToya stepped to the podium, the room fell silent. She scanned the faces, pausing briefly on Hayes, whose eyes widened in recognition. "Good morning," she began, her voice clear. "I'm LaToya Jackson, your new police chief. With 15 years in law enforcement, I've worked patrol, detective, and command roles. I'm here to build a department grounded in accountability and community trust." Hayes's jaw dropped, his face paling. The officer beside him, a rookie named Carter, nudged him. "Wait, is that her? The one from court?" Hayes didn't respond, his mind replaying the kick in vivid detail. LaToya continued, outlining her plans: mandatory de-escalation training, body camera reviews, and a zero-tolerance policy for misconduct. "We serve the public," she said. "When we fail that duty, we lose the right to wear this badge." Her gaze lingered on Hayes. "Some of you may recognize me from recent events," she added, her tone firm. "If you don't know this, I don't tolerate disrespect or abuse of power." Whispers spread as officers connected the dots. Carter leaned over. "Man, you're in deep." Hayes sank lower, avoiding eye contact. After the briefing, LaToya met with senior staff, ordering a full investigation into Hayes' conduct. By midday, the news broke. The woman Hayes had kicked was now his boss. Social media posts from local activists fueled the story, and a bystander's video of the courtroom incident surfaced, showing Hayes' aggression. Public outrage mounted, and the department faced intense pressure. LaToya acted swiftly. She directed internal affairs to review Hayes' file, uncovering a pattern of complaints, unreported force incidents, racial slurs noted by peers, and dismissed allegations from Black residents. That afternoon, Hayes was placed on leave, his badge and gun confiscated. He called union reps, but support waned as the video gained traction. At a press conference, LaToya addressed the incident. "I was assaulted by an officer in court," she said, facing the cameras. "This isn't about me. It's about ensuring our department upholds justice for all. Officer Hayes is under investigation, and we will pursue accountability." Applause followed, but LaToya remained focused. She knew reforming the department would be a marathon, not a sprint. The investigation confirmed Hayes' misconduct. Within weeks, he was terminated, his pension in jeopardy. Criminal charges followed, with LaToya testifying at his trial. He pleaded guilty to assault, receiving a year of probation and community service. The department saw sweeping changes: new training protocols, community oversight boards, and regular audits. LaToya's leadership earned praise, with schools inviting her to speak and national media covering her reforms. Hayes faded from view, his career destroyed. Colleagues distanced themselves, and his name became a warning within the force. For LaToya, he was a symbol of the challenges she'd faced and overcome as a Black woman in law enforcement, driving her to ensure justice prevailed.